They checked his pulse and confirmed it. Had finally died. And as
And then they
Marasi
shot him in the
turned
head
away,
3 more times for good measure.
Yeah, just to make sure.
The triple
just
tap.
yeah, I would. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cosmere Connections. We're a collective of book-loving nerds rereading Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere series. From book 1 to book 16 million, we'll be uncovering every secret connection there is to find. On our show today, we have Swiggity Swoo.
Ka is a wheel. Hey, everybody, how's it going?
John.
Pew, 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 pew.
Okay.
Hey, hey.
And I'm ReaderWarrior, and today we're going to be covering Mistborn, Alloy of Laws, Epilogue. We're also going to cover the Ars Arcanum. We're going to cover the Broadsheets, and we're going to give this our good old ranking that we always do at the end of a book.
We're done. It's the end.
It's the end
first
of the
book.
world as we know it.
All I
That
can
was
think
where
of.
my brain also went there,
Yeah.
so I'm glad that I'm not the only one.
Naturally.
And,
I'm just excited for the next book, to be honest. That's the first thing I thought of when I finished this one.
Always got to be looking forward to the next book.
Yeah, especially when it's really good.
in that case, I'm going to start us off with half of the epilogue, Marasi and Death. And if you cannot tell, my voice is Death. This is canonically what Marsh sounds like. This is not just because I have a sore throat and cannot speak very well. This is just me, being in character. Marasi was the only one to witness Miles' execution. The prosecution had gone smoothly, with Miles pleading guilty for his crimes. His eyes held no remorse. They offered the same evil look that had stared her down with days before when he had threatened to kill her. Perhaps the old Marasi would have had nightmares, but this Marasi, over 2 days, had loved and lost, nearly died, and killed a man. She had grown, so she watches as the executioners lower their rifles on the former lawman and fire. Anything for that third?
Pew, 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 pew.
It took a long time for Miles to die. Even though they'd removed his metal mines, there were likely some hidden in his body. As bullets fly again and again, Miles starts to curse and yell, warning them that they will one day be ruled by men of gold and red who bear the final metal, and that they should worship Trell. And as Miles' healing slowed, wait, what? Sorry, that they should worship Trell and dash. Miles' healing had slowed as he spoke, stopped as the last of his healing ran out. They checked his and as
It's the only
Marasi
way to be
turned
sure.
away, she saw death waiting behind her. Literally.
Well, Death, Marsh,
Iron Eyes.
He's called Death. You can't get much more than the guy.
I mean, you can't get a whole lot more deathy than Death.
It's very fitting that the guy with the surname 100 Lives, like, Death shows up to his execution.
Okay. For the fun part. Something inside of her pushed Marasi toward the man. She ran into the alley, chasing him. She couldn't understand why she was so curious, but she didn't fight it. Marasi pulled out the small handgun Wax gave her as she turned the corner and came face to face with Marsh Iron Eyes, the man who now personifies death. He starts off with an apology for riding her motions, and then immediately sues her. He's like, I'm so sorry for manipulating your emotions. Here, let me do it the opposite way.
Let me try to calm you down so you're less stressed. And Brassi's like, this is weird.
This is somehow worse.
Yeah.
Iron
Things
Eyes
have not
explains that he
improved.
has a gift for Wax to help with some of the mysteries in his life. A journal that she is permitted to read as long as it gets to him. He figures that if he tried to deliver it himself, Wax would shoot him for not giving him all the answers. As
Which
long
is
as he does the
fair.
good. Yeah. As long as good Kelsier wanted in the world, Waxilium would have Death's blessing. The end.
The end. In the name of my brother, you may continue.
He also references Breeze. It's like, oh, I'm not as good as this as Breeze was. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my guy, you have 300 years. Come on.
Yeah, total fan service, right?
But
A little bit. That's okay, though.
Marsh
I love it, though.
Marsh doesn't get out much. He doesn't really go and interact with the world.
Well, when people start calling you Death, you don't really want to go out all too much.
It would make things difficult. And it's not like you can hide them spikes.
Yeah.
Starts getting Uber Eats.
He's also like a giant. He's like 6'3",
That's
I think
true.
is what they say. Like he's very tall. And not only he's very tall, is bald with these tattoos all over his head and the spikes through his eyes. He's very conspicuous.
That's why he
Yeah, that's
usually
a good word
just
for it.
hangs out at the Piercing Emporium.
He's got a tattoo shop. Does
Everybody there,
piercings.
he does stick out, but in a good way.
Um, anything else for this part of the epilogue? We've got Miles dying. We've got Death showing up. We've got one book of mystery.
I was wondering, like, what your guys' thoughts are with the line, like, "Oh, you're doing my brother's work." When, is that what Marsh said to Marasi?
He said he was talking about Wax, that Wax is doing his brother's work. And I think talking about like how Wax is trying to help the people. Like
Yeah.
that's what Wax does, is he is trying to help the people who are in the lower class, which is what
Yeah.
Kelsier always wanted to do as well. So he
I feel
is
like it's
doing
meant to be very foreshadowy. Like it's meant to like hint at something. So it kind of has that sort of vibe of prophecy a little bit.
Mhm.
Coming from a god.
Mhm.
Right. But just like, I was wondering if yeah. Yeah. There's
Oh, I did. Sorry.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I like the part where he's like, "Oh, I disagree with Harmony all the time," but
Yeah.
his own morality is like, "Yeah, that's perfectly fine," even though he's God.
It's like, yeah, I'm doing this, and Harmony doesn't like that I'm giving you this, but he can just deal with it.
You can suck eggs.
Yeah. And that's kind of, and he's like that. I guess that's kind of how he works now. I don't know, but he's letting me do it, so we're just gonna go with it.
Free will.
Yeah.
Free will.
Yeah.
To an
Okay.
extent.
I do love that for
Right.
him, though, to have free will after what he went
Mhm.
through.
That might be a
Yeah.
thing where he's like, "I'm definitely never touching you with the ruin power because I know how badly that must be for you." John, I believe you have Wax's family.
I do. So just to have a second here to finish this little thing so I can look at my notes. Bad timing on my part. So Wax boards the train. He's on the train. He's going through first class looking for a specific car. If I remember right, it was car number 3. But I could be mistaken on that. And waiting for him in that car is his long lost uncle Edward, who was presumed dead up until this point. Turns out he's Mr. Suit.
I
And
can't gasp.
dun dun dun.
Yeah, just imagine I said gasp instead of tried with this throat of mine.
instead of choking.
Yeah.
So Wax sits down right as Edwarn is being served his supper, and Wax, being Wax, decides he's gonna open up and start the bidding with a little bit of a threat, like, I'm gonna shut you down. I know what you're doing. I found you, and they go back and forth a little bit of, oh, well, I'd hoped you'd outgrow this so that I could bring you in on my evil plot. And Wax is like, I've foiled you, it's over. The important bits are that Wax had figured out, because of the butler and the description of Mr. Suit that he got from the Vanishers. That's how he was able to find Edwarn and knew who it would be. That Telson, his sister, is alive.
Gasp.
And it was all a big setup to bring down House Tikiel, because their big thing was insurance and stuff like that, and now their companies are worth nothing. So the set were easily able to buy out all of their stocks, essentially, and then when it goes back up, they'll make a fortune.
Insurance
So that was
fraud.
Right? The scary stuff.
Yep.
If only that was a felony or something. So anyway, that's where it kind of cuts away again. They come back. Basically, the important bits from the middle. As they continue to talk, we learn that they are, in fact, descended. Like, we already knew, but now we have like in-book confirmation that they are descended from Breeze.
The Counselor of Gods.
Yeah, the Counselor of Gods.
You think he gave himself that nickname, or is that one of
Probably.
the ones that have been passed down?
He probably gave it to himself, knowing Breeze.
No, Breeze. So Breeze left the noble family that he was part of. Like, he gave up the name. He didn't like the name. I don't think that was Breeze. I think that was Spook who gave him that moniker.
That could be possible.
But it doesn't really make that big of a difference. So Edwarn says that, he's like, you'll see in time. I'll send you the information and maybe you'll change your mind. And Wax gets mad and sweeps the table clean of all of Edwarn's food and just throws it against the wall and pretends to have a little fit. And Edwarn's like, goodbye now. And he has his bodyguards throw Wax off the train, which for a coin shot is no big deal, because he can just like float himself on the rails until he slows down and then land safely. And Edwarn knows it, but he'll at least be away. So Wax catches up with Wayne, and Wayne's reading a book, apparently about talking bunnies. I'm guessing it's Watership Down. It's the only talking bunnies book I can think of, or at least it's a reference to that, maybe.
I meant to check that. Sorry.
No, it's not directly stated. Like, I know that much, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a reference to Watership Down. So they're talking and talking about how Wax made a bet with Wayne about, what was it? Just 20 notes that he was in the right place or something like that. And then Wayne's like, no, it's only 5 because I bet 15 that you'd end up helping me with the Vanishers case. And Wax is like, I don't remember that bet. And Wayne's like, well, yeah, you weren't there when I made it with you. It's a very Wayne thing to do. And he's like, yeah, but it counts because you should have been there.
Yeah.
Which is silly, but welcome to Wayne.
I love it. It's like just another version of him borrowing things or trading things when he's really just stealing them for
Right.
trash.
It's like, it's okay as long as I give them some garbage. And Wax even makes a point of saying, oh, I gotta talk to him about that trading thing again.
Yeah, because he traded the book for
an aluminum bullet that nobody would
bullet.
yeah, recognize the value of, and they just throw
Yeah.
it away. And so Wayne asks, was the meeting worthwhile? Did you get anything? And that's when Wax reveals that he got a date book full of all kinds of ledgers and notes and things about the set and what they're up to. And he got it when he swept the table. He palmed it and pocketed it. So he has a big clue as to what the set's up to and a way to move against them in the future. And then he and Wayne kind of make a pact that they're going to be there, they're going to figure this out, they're going to play it out, and they're going to do what needs to be done. And that's it.
Nice.
Yes.
So, random details I have is that whales apparently exist because Edwarn had a whale ivory cane.
Makes sense.
It does make sense. And, you know, it also, if I remember right, Ellendale is pretty far removed from the coast.
It's
So
connected to this huge port.
Oh, it
It
is.
is. Yeah, it's connected to this Yeoman.
Hammond something port.
That's like
Okay.
right next to
I mean, they have canals
Hammond Dar Bay.
that go out into the sea, right?
Hammond Darby. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So maybe it's not quite such a big thing then. I could have sworn they were more inland than that, and then was one of the outer. I guess what would have been an outer dominance town that was on the coast, but I'm just remembering the map wrong.
I love how, like, if Wax wanted to, he could very easily catch up to that train again, as established by this chapter. But instead, he just trains all the way back to the station.
Well, because he got what he like something that he wanted. He got information.
Yeah.
He confronted his uncle. He got information out of him, and
I'm just in my head, I'm imagining like the little switch things that go like ding, 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 ding as like Wax just like floats through.
This whole confrontation was so frustrating because it rings true in our world today of like, oh, you know this guy is garbage, but you just don't have enough on him to like prosecute him. You can't bring him down. And you know, he's just got.
He's also rich enough to own so many other people.
Yeah, he's got waxed by the throat in this moment because he's too wounded to fight back. And it's like frustrating.
Even if Wax had been able to like handcuff him, take him in, like first you would have to prove it's him, and then you would have to like prove all those things he did, and it would be impossible.
yeah,
He says, I have 3 vanishers who will swear on their lives that they saw Miles rape and kill the woman.
So, yeah, Wax really doesn't have anything on his uncle. As much as he wishes that he did, he does not.
And
Right.
his uncle is a good, like, thematically, his uncle is the perfect villain. Like, he's not only is he Wax's family, so he's got like the direct connection to him, but he represents that side of Ellendale, the big business and like the corrupt dealings that prey on people.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Moriarty to Wax's Sherlock. Anything else for Wax's family? Okie dokie. Kay, I believe you have the Ars Arcanum.
Yeah, we could talk a little bit about the Ars Arcanum. So, uh, the first thing that I do want to mention Ars Arcanum, towards where it actually talks about the metallic arts. So we've talked a little bit about this. I don't know how much we've talked about it in the main episodes versus the spoiler section. I don't remember. I know we've talked about it, about how there are the three different metallic arts. We have allomancy, feruchemy, and hemalurgy. Allomancy, in and of itself, is a net positive um, gain. So when you use allomancy, you're pulling from the spiritual world, the spiritual realm, and you're pulling that power to you, and it ends up being net positive because you're kind of creating that power from nothing. You're not drawing on something already there. Versus feruchemy, which is net neutral, which as in the epilogue we see that he mentions that Wayne can't heal himself as he is right now, because if he were to store health with his broken arm, it would take him longer to heal, and then when he does tap that healing to try to heal that arm faster, he would just end up where he would have if he had just healed it naturally. It would take the same amount of time. Because of how feruchemy works, it is net neutral. You're pulling from yourself and your own stores of from previous times. So you're not gaining anything, but you're also not losing anything. And then the last art that we have is hemalurgy. And hemalurgy is net negative. So when you use hemalurgy, there's a little bit of power that's lost during the transfer of the spikes from the person that you kill into the other person. The easiest way to limit this transfer is to just go straight through, like they do with the Inquisitor, like we saw in Era 1 when they make the Inquisitors, where they just stab straight through the person into the new Inquisitor to make them.
Metal beds. Those spike beds.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it's an end negative. Because power is lost during that transfer. So a Mistborn that is made through hemalurgy will never be as strong as a natural born Mistborn because of that loss. Will typically not be as strong as a natural born Mistborn because of that loss if they're in the same if we're comparing them in the same time period, in the same era. They will generally be less powerful than someone who is naturally born because of that loss.
That's true, right? But if that's true, if it's like one spike, aren't the Inquisitors like really strong for some reason?
Well, it's true regardless of how many spikes, because if you have to, like, let's say you have 5 spikes, and each spike gives you a different power, each of those powers will be less than the original person who had that single power.
Mm-hmm.
But typically, you're also
Right.
getting this is becoming somebody who's getting both ferrochemical and allomantic powers. So you're getting somebody who can do pewter healing, pewter allomantically with strength. You're getting somebody who could heal with ferrochemy, steel push. You're getting somebody who can also, I think, Marsh
Also,
uses pewter ferrochemically and just gets big and strong that
they
way.
also talked about how um, when making the Inquisitors, they would tend to pick people who were already Mistborn, and
Yes,
people who are
particularly
Seekers,
Seekers.
and or people who are Seekers. If they couldn't find someone who was already a Mistborn, they would pick people who were Seekers. Those were the two types of people that they would try to pick to become Inquisitors because it would increase their strength. Because you're adding that extra power on top.
Because their original main job was to hunt down ska allomancers.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, is that it from you?
Well, I was gonna talk about the new powers that we have. So within the Ars Arcanum. So we've got the new chart, which is cool. We get to see all of the ferrochemical, the allomantic, as well as ferrochemical powers of the new metals and the old metals that we have. At the end of Hero of Ages, we knew what some of the metals did ferrochemically, but we didn't know what all of them did ferrochemically. Plus, with our new metals, we get this whole new table, which is really exciting to see. So the two that we saw in this, the two new metals that we saw in this book were cadmium and bendalloy. Which cadmium is the one that Marasi uses, and it slows down time, and then bendalloy is the one that Wayne uses, which speeds up time. And ferrochemically, which is very interesting, cadmium stores breath. Um, and Bendalloy stores energy, which just like thinking of how that would work is kind of like how does that even like make sense? Like,
I read the section on Bendalloy and it's just like, oh, you nutrients and stuff. And I'm like, it's not storing energy, it's storing substance because it basically a person can eat and not get fat or drink and not get thirsty.
oh, so it's storing like calorie, like the
Yeah.
energy from calories, basically,
Yeah.
is what it's storing. Is that what it is? Because I just thought that was interesting. But
Subsumer pharynx can store nutrition and calories in a Bendalloy metal mine. They can eat large amount of food during active storage without feeling full or gaining weight, and can go without the need to eat while tapping the metal mine. A separate metal mine can be used similarly to regulate fluids. I don't think that's energy. I think
interesting.
whoever the author is of this, and we get this is like the first time in Mistborn where we now see the Ars Arcanum is written by a specific person because they talk about um like they make a I'm certain comment in relation to a different fairing type.
Mhm.
That is
Also,
a notable shift as well. It's not just set
yes.
dressing.
So we're now seeing that it appears that the Ars Arcanum is being written by someone. Um, at this point, we don't know who. We kind of it's actually not explicitly been released so far. Who's writing these? Um, so if you're in the space, you might know who it is. I won't spoil it if you don't know who it is. We'll wait till the spoiler section to actually say who it is, if you want to know. But if you are not caught up and if you are caught up and you still don't know who it is, join us in the spoiler section, and we'll tell you.
We'll fill
Um,
you in.
we'll fill you in. So the other two new ones, new metal. Um, that we see
see.
that we have not seen in this book so far. The first one is chromium, which wipes the allomantic reserves of a target. So it is similar to aluminum, where it can wipe the metal reserves, but you're not wiping your own metal reserves. You get to wipe someone else's. But but you have to be touching them in order to wipe their metal reserves. So you have to have that physical contact with their body in order to wipe their metal reserves. And then ferrochemically, this one, it stores fortune. So this is talking about luck. So it's storing your ability to have lucky luck, which is really that's
Weird.
really weird.
I feel like I've been storing this all my life. When can I start tapping it?
Yeah. And then the second one, its match is Nicrosil. And then Nicrosil, similar to Duralumin, it enhances the allomantic burn of a target. So similar to like Duralumin, where if you yourself burn it while burning something else, you get that big push of energy where essentially you end up flaring it all at once. So similar to that, but you do it on someone else. Again, you have to have that physical contact with them in order to make that happen. And then this one stores investiture, which we haven't really talked a lot about. We haven't really heard much about exactly what investiture is. And it's kind of it's not really talked about in here. In this section, all it says is that this is a power that very few people know anything about. And indeed, the author of this is certain that people of Terrace don't truly know what they are doing when they use these powers. So this idea of investiture, and what is investiture? I think this is the first time that being talked about on screen, that idea of investiture. I can't remember if we've seen it on screen before.
At least not in the Mistborn series. I believe
Yeah.
so now.
Yeah. So, think about what
Probably
is investiture?
Not in the non-spoiler section.
Not in the non-spoiler section. We definitely haven't talked about it. But there's this idea of investiture. What is it? And how is Nicrosil able to store this? It's like that it can store. That you can store with ferrochemicals.
Microsil. Am I been in the wrong?
I don't know. I pronounced it Nicrosil because it should technically be a short I sound based on what I know of phonetics and how to read words.
I always pronounced it Nigrosil in my head because I just did. I don't know. But I'm
just
perfectly
Googled-
willing to be wrong about it.
Same.
I just Googled it, and literally the first couple results on Google are Cosmere.
That's funny.
Probably not a real thing then.
Did you Google?
Wikipedia is a nickel alloy containing 14.4% chromium, 1.4% silicon, and in some sources 0.1% magnesium.
So if it's derived from nickel, I would assume that it's pronounced Nicrosil.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Too many
Makes
make
too much
assumptions in English, though.
It makes too much
I mean,
sense.
English is basically 3 other languages dressed up in a trench coat.
That's
Very
right.
true.
Okay. Check my
Did you
notes.
figure out how it's pronounced, reader?
No, I could not.
Did you Did you not just look up Nicrosil pronunciation?
No, I did not.
I don't know why you didn't just do that.
Noted.
Because every other one was like Cosmere. And when I do Nicrosil pronounce in English, how to say Nitrosil. Nitrosil is pronounced Nye, Ni-cro-sil. It is a two-syllable word where the I in Nick print the word I, as in the name Nye. The C is pronounced like the K in croc, and the sil is pronounced like sil.
Oh, Nicrocell. That's fair.
So there we go. It's doing that
Yeah.
language trench coat thing.
Yep.
And I have an apology because I threw a thing a long time ago at the beginning of this book about a copper cloud running for a seat of power, and I complained that copper cloud is not the term, and apparently in the Ars Arcanum they are now called copper clouds.
How does that feel,
I
Raider?
hate it. Me
I
being wrong, I'm used to that.
was gonna say, are you not used to it by now?
Yeah, I'm completely used to it.
Copper cloud mistings, also known as smokers.
Really?
I don't like that. Yeah. And the only other big thing I got is hemalurgy isn't known really anymore with good read, because why would the 10 people who knew about it after the world got reborn ever want to tell anybody?
Yeah.
Remember when you were first bringing up the part about how they call them copper clouds? It's like, well, that's kind of dumb. That's like if you called somebody a steel push. If you called them steel pushes. And then, like, later in the book, there was a character, two characters named Push and Pull.
Literally called push and pull.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like a cliche nickname for a underling.
yeah.
Like, here are my servants, gun and sword.
It's just, it's pretty close to the thing you were joking about.
Okay, anything else for the Ars Arcanum?
I wonder if there's, like, a sensation you get with this act of storing something that's completely devoid of what you're storing. Like, you know, it talks about, oh, they're storing Investiture, but they don't even know what they're doing. Like, you know, do they know that they're storing something? Like, does it feel like tingly? Like,
I'm sure they have
probably-
to know they're storing something, or they wouldn't know about the power at all.
Yeah, because you have to intend to store something. Like you
The
can't
thing
just
is, they know all of their metals match elementic tables, so at the very least, they know this metal does. We may not know what it stores, but it does something.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to mention the couple that we got that are new for ferrochemical powers that we did not have previously. So, Electrum, we learn that it stores determination ferrochemically. For aluminum, it stores identity. You can store your identity in it. And then duralumin stores connection. So these are very broad things that maybe not quite sure at this point what exactly they're talking about with like identity and connection.
Or why those things might be useful.
Yeah,
yeah,
at this point,
oh man,
don't really know what they do. Like, why would you need to store your identity in something? Or like, why
Credit
would
card
you why would you need to store connection? What would you do? Like, if you tapped connection, like, what would happen? If you tap identity, like, what does that do? Um, why would it be?
It makes it easier to grow friendships or something. I don't know. There's
So,
summaries for
let's
each one.
just say capital identity and capital connection.
yep.
I was thinking connection, not identity.
So, oh yeah, connection, it does talk about a little bit in here where it talks about how um, when you store it, it reduces other people's awareness and friendship with you. during
I've been
active
storing this all
storage.
my life.
And then you can tap it later in time in order to speedily form trusting relationships with other people.
And I tapped it when I met you three.
Aw.
The power of friendship.
Let's move on to the Ars Arcanum then.
Sorry, real quick. Electrum, the note on it in the Ars Arcanum for storing determination, it says that when you store determination, you enter a depressed state during active storage, and then you can tap it later in time to enter a manic phase.
Wow.
This sounds
I just-
awful. Did he just weaponize bipolar syndrome?
Yep, basically.
Oh.
This is my life. Electrum is one of the metals I have tattooed.
Is it actually?
Yes.
That's really funny. I'm sorry, Skinny, but that is.
And I feel like that's my general workflow as well. I'm just
Oh no.
like, and then I'll have these periods where I just get so much done, and then yeah. Anyways,
Okay. So throughout this book, we've also had these broadsheets that have been annoyingly been in fours. And if you check out the description, there's a link to a full version of it. But we're gonna just really quickly talk about some of our favorite little. Kay very proudly has the full thing printed that she got at Steel Nexus back years ago when a book came out. Hooray for you.
okay,
It's pretty cool.
No, someone's not jealous at all.
I think you're supposed to say extra, extra, read all about it.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Ellen
Now you need the little newsy hat.
I ain't never died, man.
Just-
That.
Just two boxing. Yeah, it's actually two boxings. Yeah, that's exactly how much it costs. Fun fact. The top.
This hat.
Yep.
I got this at Christmas market years ago.
Alright.
Okay. So we're not going to cover the full thing because that would be an episode in of itself. But we are going to go through like quick things that just called out at us. First of all, we now have a direct year of how long it's been since the end of Hero of Ages. 304. 341.
Good to know.
Yep. And it is the 4th of Doxil.
I did like when there's like an ad paid for against horseless carriages, and then if you look over a little bit, there's another ad against horses.
That's four. So there's one that's against horseless carriages, and then like not the next one over, but the one right after that is pro horseless carriages. So
Right.
it's-
Oh, okay.
See, that's how the news should be. Have both sides of the argument, and then the reader makes their decision.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the one about the one guy running for whatever Congress seat exists, and it's like, oh, he's actually a rioter, and the other one's like, he's a really good person.
Yeah.
I know, it's so funny.
There's also one about like life across the ocean, so they're delving into like sci-fi. There's an ad for the 44 millimeter gun, John, that was invented in 1870.
And they have, and I think this is something that is fun about it. You can argue whether or not you like the stories or not, but I think it is fun to include them. Is that they have the serialized novel, in the newspaper. That's the Alamancer Jack serialized novel.
Who his?
Which is
The
kind
Pits
of
of
it's
Alpania.
fun that they have it in there, even if you don't like the story. Like, I think the
Yes,
fact that they included that Sanderson decided to include that in there is very fun, and it really helps set the scene for where we are in time, what time period we're in.
it does.
I mean, that was Sherlock Holmes. That's what Sherlock Holmes was written out of. He was a story written into the paper.
Yeah, you've so many of you had so many of the stories, these serializations that were printed one episode at a time, one chapter at a time in the newspaper. Uh,
And John, it's got Koloss in it. How can you hate it?
Like,
Quite easily.
yeah, pretty much.
Brandon wrote the broadsheets. Because I thought he collaborated with his team, includes Zach Stewart to write them. So I thought I remember something about like Brandon not writing all of them, but he like will sign off on some.
Are there more broadsheets in the other books?
Stewart laid out the broadsheets.
yeah, there's a broadsheet in every book.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they're from different places in each of the different books. And they're from they're different papers. So this is the Ellendale Daily, and then one of them is the House Record, and then would have
Oh,
to
that's
look at
cool.
what the other two are.
Individual publications.
Yeah, and not all of them are from Ellendale. Some of them are from other parts, other cities in.
I was looking at the map and I was like shocked how many of those cities actually come up in the books.
Anything else for the broadsheet? Okay,
They
then
mention
we're gonna
they
go. Sorry.
mention the Faceless Immortals, which I think is fun. Which is their name for the Khandra now,
Yeah.
which I just think is a fun mention that's what the Khandra are now kind of called. I don't know if I can't remember if it was mentioned earlier in the book or not, but I think that is a kind of fun thing. That is what they are called now, just as names change and shift.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. I'm not trying to sound stern. This is just how my voice is right now. I'm sorry. We're gonna go into our general thoughts, and that'll also be tied to our rankings. So, what we currently have in our ranking system of Cosmere Connections, we have Mistborn, the Final Empire at number 1, Hero of Ages number 2, Emperor's Soul number 3, Elantris number 4, and Well of Ascension at 5. So we're gonna go around, and this will be your chance to say your favorite parts, least favorite darts, least favorite. I'm done. Okay, Swiggity, take it away.
All right. So, question: are we ranking? We're going around and we're ranking like against the normal ranking we have right now, and we're trying to give our vote for where to slot it.
Yes.
Correct.
That's rough.
Not
That's hard. This is hard.
for me.
You like to skip and pass to John?
Probably above Emperor's Soul for me. So it would be Final Empire, Hero of Ages, Alloy of Law, Emperor's Soul, Elantris, Well of Ascension for me. And I mean, as for thoughts, like, well, shoot, we just did do a podcast series on it, but I'll tell you, the things that I've noticed I keep coming back to are like the rapport with the characters being so good, and like a sense of history with the characters, and a sense of like these established dynamics, and obviously like I love the action scenes in these books, and especially this one. And there's the only thing I'll really say about it is that it's the weakest, I think, of Era 2, which is not really a knock against it. It's just the other ones are so good. So, yeah.
John.
So for me, this is the best Cosmere book we have read so far. This sits proudly atop the heap, and it's because, as far as the Mistborn stuff goes, it's very fresh. It's a little newer. It's moving closer to what my sort of personal favorite genre of reading would be, and that's what we'd call urban fantasy. So it's like it's more modern, but there's still magic, and you have this just collection of all of these technology and magic and political problems and action, and it's really just more. And I think that's a great place to be. I think that is that's for me why it sits on top so far.
Any thoughts about the book, or besides just your personal love of urban fantasy? We can go to
Thoughts
Kate.
about the book specifically? Well, it's I mean, nothing new. It's a great. So we have an awesome buddy dynamic, Wax and Wayne, right? Their names even play off of each other. We have new powers, which is always fun. It's also short and sweet. Like, it's not super complicated. It's not super thinky. It's get in, have fun, get out, right? Like, we get our complicated, thinky, involved stuff in other places with Sanderson. This is just a for fun, and it really is fun. So I that's my thoughts on the book itself.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that. Like, it is just fun. It's like the buddy action movie.
Mhm.
And it's also like cool to see like the progression from the last series to this series. Like, he just nails it and explores it in a perfect way. It's kind of like from Avatar to the Legend of Korra. Like, he did such a good job of bringing it forward, and like getting to see that is so exciting. It's fun.
Hey.
I think I would have to agree with John up at the top. Honestly, I know, shocking.
I am a little shocked.
But I think that this book is such a breath of fresh air, in a way, because it is so different than the other books that we've read. It's much more lighthearted. Um, it's a faster read. It's more fun. Um, it's not as much like it's not like, oh, it's the end of the world, like the other books that we've read.
Yeah.
Like they're all like just the end of the world, like which is good to have to read those books. I like reading those books, but sometimes you really enjoy that, like that that shift, that change. Sometimes you just want to read something where people just go around and just jump around and have fun. Just
Going
like
on an
do
adventure.
yeah, and just say silly things to each other and just and the
Yes,
what
that's an excellent point. The banter in this book is really good. It
yeah,
feels like a long established friendship, right? Where you know how to poke each other in just the right way, that you're still chums, but like Also, it's like a solid poke.
Sanderson does a really good job with his dialogue in this book. Between all of the characters, like not just between like Wax and Wayne. Yes, they have a they're shown as like very their dialogue between each other is very good, but also like seeing like Wax and Steris's dialogue when they're at the party, like that's like hearing them like debate and like talk to each other. Those dialogues are really good and it's done, and I really enjoy it a lot. So that's that's my opinion. That's my thought.
Also helps to be a little bit lighter too, that it's like in a more modern setting. I feel like medieval societies can be kind of stiff.
Hmm.
That's valid.
Definitely.
Like that's definitely true. Um, and I think part of it is kind of the idea of like
Modernity.
hmm?
Modernity. Modern things.
Modernity. I don't know if that's exactly what I'm going for, but it's like the way. So like as a language exists, it evolves and words take on different meanings, and the old meanings don't necessarily go away, right? So the language tends to get more complicated, but in other ways it also tends to get more simple. And as we move out of fantasy, we see more of that, right? As we move into a more modernized setting, you see that kind of happen, and the feel of things changes a little bit, right? Like the original trilogy is very grim, dark, dour. This is very kind of lighthearted, but even in books that are set in a more modern era where they're trying to be grim and dark and kind of dour about it, unless it's something like a 40K series where they're really trying to hammer the like that grittiness home, you still have that levity of just kind of the way people treat each other is more casual. Maybe that's what I'm going for here. I guess I'm not really articulating what I'm thinking very well.
No, yeah, I think you're totally getting at what I was getting at. And part of it too is also like there's a bit of a translation. Like, if you're like an author and you're writing a scene and you're having like a thought or a feeling you're trying to express, like, you know, it's obviously easier if people's lives are more similar to yours. And then like I can just imagine writing scenes and feeling like you kind of have to do so much work to come up with a metaphor that gets across what you're trying to say, but isn't just something that people just still say. Like, I don't know, a bit easier to
Right,
kind of
because
roll
like
with it.
yeah, because as like the language changes, we might not use the same types of idioms and such.
Right, exactly. True as titanium.
Okay,
I don't
your
want to give my
ranking.
ranking anymore.
Your ranking, reader. Are you gonna stick it at the bottom?
I was gonna stick it at the bottom.
How dare you?
Out of all of them,
Okay, out of all the ones we've read so far, I was gonna stick it at the bottom. Maybe actually no, I was gonna put it above Well of Ascension.
Go ahead and defend yourself. Why are you
Okay,
sticking it at the
please allow me this time. I
bottom?
do enjoy this book. I love Wax and Wayne's banter. I like it a lot. But there are a lot of things I have issue with this book that I don't really have issues in most of the others. So, like, for a lot of this book, I had trouble visualizing every single part of it. Like, when that whole final battle in the underground layer thing, could not, in my mind, see it very well. I could see aspects of it, but not the whole thing. In everything in all the other ones, I could perfectly visualize that. And it wasn't just that final battle, it was like when Wax and Miles are fighting on the train roof. I'm like, okay, I see them fighting on the train roof. I see these things, but like I don't understand where they're going, where that is. Why are they suddenly still in Ellendale? Why is this not like a Western thing? And that might just be me having different expectations for it. Man, this voice is killing me with this. um, just, this is not how I normally sound. But also, like, there are little things I didn't care for, like Marasi and Wax all that much. I like what she represented. I just didn't specifically care for his interest in her. I felt like that wasn't that great. I'm trying not to be tainted by what we know can happen in the future and with these characters. And so, like, Steris, based upon what we've gotten so far of her, not that great of a character. And I greatly enjoy what these characters become, and I feel like those books will be higher. But, and then there's also a lot of the things I really like about this book can only come from reading the original trilogy. That's weird to say. And so I feel like ranking it at number one for me, in my mind, does not work like that. I
I mean,
love
that's fair. It's not detailed enough for you. It loses a little bit of continuity for you. And you thrive on those details, as we all know. So, I mean, that's fair, and I understand, and I respect your opinion on that. It's well justified. I disagree, but whatever.
I greatly enjoy A Breath of Fresh Air. I really do. And I love having this book because it is very much just after watching The Godfather, now you can just watch a Saturday morning cartoon or something. You can watch Tom and Jerry or something. It's just, you can relax, you can decompress. It's fun. And I like that. It's just, Brandon doesn't just do fun, he also does fun with extra things. And I feel like those extra things, which should make this even better, aren't hitting for me.
I think some of that gets. I think I feel that I get a little bit more of what I'm looking for in Shadows of Self. It gets a little bit deeper in Shadows of Self.
And it's short, which is both a good thing, but also I'm like, it could have really used a bit more, and it's just, I like it a lot. I do. And I'm not saying any of these books are bad. Just where it has to be ranked is based upon pluses and minuses. And so far, the pluses of this book do not outweigh the minuses that it drags down a bit in regards to other pluses and minuses.
Okay, a fair and honest dissenting opinion.
I do like this book. I don't want that to be understated.
Oh, I think that's
Yeah.
pretty clear. Like, we've all, even the books that we've personally ranked lowest for each of us, we've still loved and enjoyed. It just doesn't take the top spot.
So we have 2 votes for the very top. We have 1 vote for third, and we have 1 vote for fifth. As a collective, where would we like to place this now?
It sounds by averages like this should be number 2.
Yeah.
That does.
I was going to say just put it where Swiggity wanted
good.
it.
I was gonna say either 2 or 3 was what I was gonna say.
Do we? What do you? Okay, what do you guys like better, Hero of Ages or Alloy of Law?
Alloy of Law.
Well, we just heard which they like better. In my mind, okay, allow me to
That's true.
propose this. And if it does not change anything, we can have a vote or something. I don't know.
We've already
Alloy
had a
of
vote.
Law, which
Right, okay. Yeah.
okay, first of all, I still disagree that Final Empire trumps Hero of Ages, but I'm letting that go. That is not a thing at all in this. Hero of Ages sets up like Sazed as Harmony. It's got Elend as the Last Emperor, Vin as the Ascended Warrior, the remaking of this whole world, Marsh as Death, and all of those are some of the core aspects of this book that I don't think, if you were to just read Alloy of Law, would make this as good as a book.
I disagree with that. Um, I think that if you wanted to pick up Alloy of Law as your first Mistborn book, that you would be able to. Like, you might miss some of those extra, like, little details that we notice, but you'll understand what's going on in the story.
I'm
You'll
not
have a good time, and it won't take away from your ability to read the story and be able to understand what's happening in the story.
I'm
I
not
feel
saying
like
you won't be able to understand or enjoy it. I'm just saying without Era 1, you won't be able to enjoy it as much as you could. It's like watching.
To put it another way, you would enjoy it more if you had read Era 1.
Yes.
For me, there's something like, how do I explain this? Like, this,
Like, imagine if the sequel trilogy of Star Wars was good, but you watched it without watching the original trilogy.
I'm starting
But
to get what
see
There
you're
is no
saying.
sequel trilogy.
It's like, this is like pure, like, creative joy. Like, this is Sanderson just being like, well, we could do it, hey, you know, what if there was one that was in the Wild West? And just being like, oh, that would be cool. And, like, just riffing on that for, like, years. But, like, like the OG trilogy, that feels really important and, like, important to fantasy. And, like, I
It's
get
got a weight to it.
yeah, I get what you're
yeah.
saying.
But so my argument against what you said, reader, is that
Okay.
I don't think that we should place the original trilogy above this book simply because it takes place before this.
I'm not.
I don't
Ooh.
think that's a valid
To-
argument.
To put it another way, post hoc ergo proctor hoc does not mean better book.
I'm not necessarily putting. I am okay. Partially, yes, I am doing that, but
I'm just-
also it's the weight of those moments. It's the weight of all of that was built in the first, and you have the epicness in like Hero of Ages of those moments that does not, in my mind, beat this fun romp of a buddy cop.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, nobody's saying that it shouldn't, or be like that, or that your opinion can't be that. It's just we feel it's the other way. We feel okay, for me personally, the original trilogy of Mistborn, since that seems to be the focus of all this, barring all the Elantris stuff. It goes for that gritty, dark, doom, death, despair feel. And by way of comparison, it does it too much. It gets depressing. And that doesn't take away from it being an excellent read and a wonderful story. It does, however, take away from the fun factor a little bit for me. Like, I don't read to be depressed and dour and sad and smothered. And I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite when we get to the Way of Kings, but I think
Wanna
it's
put that at the
because
top.
I think it's because that series goes the other direction, right? Like, Mistborn, the original trilogy, starts at a moderate level of gloom and doom and just sinks farther down. Whereas Stormlight Archives starts at a pretty stark level of gloom and doom, and it works its way up. And I think the difference between those two things is largely personal preference and how much you'll enjoy them. but that's why for me, or that's one more reason for me why this book sits higher than anything else so far.
So, okay, let's do a vote, and probably just going to be 50-50. The two options are putting it in second or putting it in third. Third is what Swiggity wanted. So Swiggity's really just winning here. So it'll be the Final Empire, this Hero of Ages, or the Final Empire, Hero of Ages, Alloy of Law. Sweetie, I assume your vote is what you wanted it for.
I agree with you in the sense of like Hero of Ages just being an amazing book and just being the culmination of all these things and just thinking about it and being like, am I really gonna say that the first Wax and Wayne book is better than that? Like, I'm getting where you're coming from.
Yeah. John, what is your vote?
I maintain that it should be ranked 2.
Okay.
Because yeah, I really do think it can be better than the culmination of a bunch of stuff.
Valid.
You know.
Kay, I think that means the tiebreaker or tie decider belongs to you.
Well, yeah, you already know what I'm gonna vote. I think it should be in second place. So
So how do we solve this?
So it's in second place.
Yep.
It's also not that important.
Quickly see.
It's also it's
Dragon.
honestly not that important.
Dragon.
It's not that
Reader.
important.
So it sounds like it's gonna be ranked in second place.
Wait, Dragon is typing.
Dragon.
When in doubt, call the speaker.
He said, "Hey."
Dragon, save us!
I don't know where. I didn't think you guys would place it this high, so I have no idea where he's gonna put it.
Did you
I don't
just
think he's
really
gonna place it
not
as
like?
highly as Kay and I do.
Yeah. So did you just not like this book very much, Reader?
But it grows into, but this in of itself, not extremely so. Like, I would give this like a, not on an A, B, C scale, but like a 6 out of 10. Maybe like a low 7.
Wait,
I teach middle school. I'm sorry. I teach middle school, so my brain immediately went 6, 7.
Sorry.
I only just heard about that recently. What is that? Like,
oh my god, it's a meme. It's a meme.
okay,
That's
I
it.
gathered that, but like, please to explain.
And
Teach
there's
me,
nothing.
teacher.
There's literally nothing to explain. It means nothing. The kids just like it and think it's funny. And so they'll go like this and they'll say 6, 7. And that's it. That's the whole thing.
Well, that's
I hate
dumb.
At work, I have to tell people, go down to cell number 876, and they'll go 67 and do that. And I'm just like, I could not.
I hear it all the time. So now every time I hear those numbers together, now it's just ingrained in my brain.
We should all do it as soon as Dragon joins.
69 at least meant something.
Yeah, 6, 7 means absolutely nothing. It's just a meme. They just think it's funny.
Kids are dumb.
Correct.
I knew I was old, Gandalf, but it wasn't until now that I felt it.
Yeah, right.
I've kind of been like really scared that the world is entering this like media slop hellscape where nothing has the chance to latch on because we're all just so inundated with like infinite content at all times. And so like weirdly, and a part of me is like gaining hope for a reality with this 6-7 thing, because it's like, oh yeah, things can still like last a
It
little
is.
bit.
It is.
Bro, that is way too meta. You just blew my
This-
mind.
This 6-7, it is literally everywhere. I'm glad I don't teach elementary anymore because apparently the elementary schoolers just go bananas when they hear it.
There he is.
Of course.
Okay. Dragon, you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna up your volume a bit though.
Welcome.
Okay. Welcome back. Okay. Deciding vote. Dragon, we have need of you. We are in the midst
I have
of
come when
ranking
summoned.
the Cosmere Connections book list. In first place, we have The Final Empire. Second place, we have Hero of Ages. Third, we have Emperor's Soul. Fourth, Elantris. Fifth, Well of Ascension. After much deliberation, Alloy of Law is either going to be in second or third, meaning it'll either come between The Final Empire and Hero of Ages, or Hero of Ages and The Emperor's Soul. It is
If
split.
those are my
50-50.
two choices,
Yes.
then I would put it in third after Hero of Ages.
Well, that's not necessarily the question, because where amongst all
My
of the books
personal
that we have
preference is
reviewed,
I would place it in fourth after Emperor's Soul. But I just also personally really enjoy Emperor's Soul.
okay,
I'm kind of glad you said that,
So-
because we have not given Emperor's Soul any love in this ranking.
But that's because this
Emperor's
is
Soul
Mistborn
is
only.
one of my top favorite writings of Brandon Sanderson. Besides the fact that it won an award.
It's,
You know.
it's a Hugo Award winner novel.
So
We're still not in the spoiler
Ignoring that
section.
fact, I think it just has like just a very like without having to like go into anything for people that may have not read Emperor's Soul. I just think like the conciseness and again the story, the drive, the impact of the lore. I think it should be up higher. But again, as far as like an actual overall read story, I do agree. Hero of Ages and Mistborn, Final Empire, as like a book to read. Definitely rank first and second. So out of second and third, I would put it in third. If I have the full ranking system of what we've done so far, I would put it in fourth.
okay,
So however that tips the scales.
it solves the problem. It tips the scales. It lands in third. Because yeah, we were pretty much drawn without hope for revival here.
Two of us voted to put it in number 1.
I see.
And
And
reader
then
is
two people, so
and
two
reader-
voted to put it in number 1, and
Flabbergasted.
2 voted to put it in what, fourth? And so then you couldn't figure out where it would go then, or what?
So Swiggity wanted it in third. Reader wanted it last.
I wanted it last or either above Well of Ascension.
So I both went first and got what I wanted.
So we had third. So we had last, third, and then what? And then you two were first for
Yeah.
Kay and John.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right.
I was not expecting it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not expecting that from them either.
I was a
So,
little shocked that Kay went that way too. So
there you go. Right.
I need to reevaluate what I think you guys will pick for things, because I don't know anymore. Would you like to stay on for the rest of the show, Dragon?
Yeah, I'll stay on. I've got time now.
Okay.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see. We're about to head into the spoiler section. Do you want to wait to give all of your thoughts there, or do you just want to give some brief?
Well,
little
I'll wait
thoughts
there.
now?
Yep. No, I'll do free flow thoughts there.
Okie dokie.
that works.
Well, next time we're going to be moving on to the next book in Era 2. We're going to be covering Shadows of Self. We're going to do the prologue, and that's going to be its own episode, and then I believe it's going to be chapters 4 after that. But just
We can confirm
Shadows
that
of
when we
Self
get there.
prologue. It's going to be a bit though. Winter break, Christmas, Yahoo.
All the
Um,
things.
For now, it's time to head into the spoiler realm. You finish this book, you have not finished the entire series, or potentially the entire Cosmere, then we recommend you stop here because likely that we will talk about everything and anything. If you are cut up, feel free to stick around because it's likely we will bring up details one may have missed or plot threads still yet to come. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, star, heart, or whatever it is on this podcast, and don't be afraid to comment your own thoughts and predictions. We would love to hear from you. You can find us on our socials via the link tree in our description. But if this part, then my name is ReaderWarrior, and I have been joined by Swiggity Swoo,
See you in the spoiler room.
very briefly Dragon,
Glad to be back.
John,
Better luck next time.
Bye.
And we're back. Spoilers. Boy, that does not sound good on this throat.
Your throat is just
so
dying.
it is. So going back to the epilogue, we have Marasi and Death. Miles mentioning the men of gold and red
Mhm.
and Trell.
Yeah.
None of us could say anything about that during the non-spoiler section. We just didn't even.
Yeah, you're like,
Trell
oh,
of a dying
oh,
man.
oh, Trell. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't know what that means.
Praying to his god one final time.
There is no Trell.
I'll see you in Drell.
So okay, so Marasi and Death, right? So Death, like, we have Death showing up with and meeting Marasi, and we learn, right, now going into spoilers, right? And we learn 3 books later that he's like basically on the brink of death. Ha har 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 har. And it's only really a few years because there's not actually a huge lapse of time between most of these books. Like they're pretty
It is
small. In fact, the
between
most
3 and 4.
3 and 4 there's 1 year, I believe.
No, there's like
No,
an
there's
8
Is it
8
5
year time
years?
span.
it's like 5 years
Is it
between 3 and 4. Yeah.
between 3 and 4?
It's like 5 or 6 years.
When in doubt, cover my.
It's a
Okay.
big jump because they have a toddler.
Right.
And it's
And
also
they
kind
have
of
a toddler and an infant by the time
Yeah.
that book
Because
4 is out.
I'm just like wondering, like, so he obviously has enough ATM to last, and he's not at least like visibly showing his age. So it's like, I'm just kind of wondering, like, do we feel like there's any sort of like, just like kind of open spoiler thoughts, like, do you think he's probably like already kind of slowing down and taking a toll, or do you think that doesn't really start even affecting him because he's able to keep up on his ATM to a point where he's like youthful in the sense and not kind of being like this, I barely have enough to kind of like stay alive by the time we say whatever 5-6 years have passed from book 1 to book 4.
I think it's affecting him
I think
by
he's
this
still
point.
golden.
And that's part
Do you
of
think
why
he's already
they
on like
needed
super hard
wax.
rations?
Yeah. I think he's already like it's starting to affect him, that like loss, that like lack of ATM. And he's probably starting to like trying to ration with the amount that he has. At least that's what I get the sense of, like, how he's talking, which definitely is influenced by the audiobook and how the audiobook narrator, like, does his voice.
Right.
Wait, why does he
I
need
don't
ATM
think
again?
For
To-
age, that's how he
compound
de-ages himself.
the
Yeah.
age.
It's how he
Right.
stays.
Because that's how the Lord Ruler like lived for 1,000 years, is because you compound into ATM and then you swallow the ATM. So, but each time that you compound, then the ATM goes further, but you also need more ATM because of the further you are away from the time that you were trying to wind back to.
How old is
So,
Wayne in this book?
how old is Wayne?
How old is Wayne in Alloy of Law?
I don't know. I don't think it's
He's
ever
Be able to
seen
look it up real fast, right?
33. So he's 33. And then due to the nature of the Lost Metal, we have him at 11 plus a 29-year time skip. That is a 7-year time skip between
1 and 4.
okay, wait a second. I just shot myself in the foot because that only covers Alloy of Law, the Lost Metal.
Yeah, which is 7 years.
7 years from Alloy of Law to Lost Metal?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, dang.
And I
That
think-
last like super long time skip from Bands of Mourning to Alloy to Lost Metal that gets
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, it's mostly
My brain's
'cause I
just so
think-
used to only having like up to a year between books
the first
of a sequel.
the first 3 books take place fairly like back to back. Like
Yeah, the
there's
first 3
not-
books are like a few months apart.
Yeah, they all take place within.
Like
think
they're
like
like I
a
think
year.
it's like a 6 months kind of a thing. It's like it's pretty.
Well, look at the broadsheets. The broadsheets have the year on them.
Yeah, they do,
I mean,
don't they?
Yeah, I guess you could do that.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Kay.
You know, be specific or something.
Kay has all the
Anyway,
broadsheets.
sorry, we don't
Okay.
have to continue on this tangent. I'm just thinking because it's like, I mean, for people that are first reading this book and they've read the Cosmere, maybe they're kind of going through this again. It's just like, if you think about it, he's probably been surviving on basically that one bag of ATM that he got from the Khandra, like that he stole. If you remember, like.
Yeah.
He's been living off of one bag of ATM for 300 years.
That's not too bad.
Do you guys remember when Hunter Biden's
Essentially.
bag of ATM was found at the White House?
Yes. I remember when that was the biggest scandal in the White House.
So I just looked at the broadsheets. So Bands of Mourning and Shadows of Self take place within the same year.
342.
Yeah, those are 342. So Alloy of Law
because I remember he like that
341.
happened and then he gets called away pretty fast. It's like within and between 1 and 2, Alloy and Law and Shadows of Self, I believe it's like 3 to 6 months because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we've been planning like
Yeah.
6-year time skip roughly between Bands and Lost Metal.
Oh, so what was that, reader? Did you just say?
Oh my god.
Did you say K was correct?
Do you not just have it on repeat in your mind? Like, why do you need me to stay? You've got the issue here, not me. Someone needs to hear it. Comedy comes in threes, huh?
Oh man.
It's all about that callback.
Oh dear.
Sorry,
Yeah, I don't need to be here.
I couldn't help it.
Help yourself.
Yes, I know. That's where you have the issue.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Moving
Okay.
on.
Moving on,
Wax's
yeah.
family. So, yes. Because Edwarn cannot do anything except first class. Telson's alive, but she's with the set.
Yeah.
There was a brief line about Edwarn's son named Hinston, which I never even knew existed.
He died, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he died to a tragic sickness
Yeah.
Yeah.
suddenly. That's about all that there is about him.
Yep.
There's the line about, I'm gonna kill you. No, the bomb the Conjura brings kills him. That somebody almost said.
Did say.
Yeah, we cut it out.
Also, sorry, can we go back to Marsh and Marasi? Because we didn't mention the book at all.
Yeah, that's right. So we
Like,
do also have, sorry. We have
which
two
is like
books.
very important.
It's
Y'all
just,
didn't mention the book?
It's just Hemalurgy
We
for
did
Dummies,
just
right?
in the spoiler realm. So we've
Yeah.
got two books. We've got Spook's Journal, in which that'll be fun, in which we can finally say that the Lord Mistborn was Spook. Probably next step, the first chapter or so of Bant or Shadows, whichever one is next. My brain
Shadows is the next
Yes.
one. I always
I mean,
get them
isn't
confused.
it? I mean, it's heavily inferred throughout the first book when I did my re-listen.
It is.
Yes.
We've been trying to do it by, unless you hear like that character's voice, or if the
Say
voice
it.
actor were
Okay.
to come back to say it. Kind of,
Gotcha.
like, we didn't mention Sazed was Harmony until he was like, "Hey, Wax, how's it going? You're bleeding out."
Right.
And considering we'll hear Spook's writing, I think like chapter 1 or chapter 2 or something, we'll bring it up
Oh,
then.
Yeah,
no,
it comes.
we mentioned that is the Emperor because we talked about Spook's bullshit slang becoming
We talked
the
about
Becoming
Becoming
uh,
High Imperial.
becoming
Imperial.
High
about High
Imperial.
Imperial, but we did not say the Lord Mistborn was Spook.
Wasn't
Okay.
We
aware,
talked about
lady.
High Imperial, and then we had a discussion on why is it called Imperial when they don't have an emperor. But yes, there's Spook's Journal, which has hemalurgy written in it. And then we also get the Set's Journal, which I don't think
Right.
really becomes that useful too much.
I don't think it has all that much useful information.
Yeah, I mean, it has like some meetings, and that kind of starts his like it'll start book 2 off with, you know, who he's chasing and stuff like that. But it doesn't lead to much places.
Anything else for the main part of the epilogue then?
So if we don't have to, you know, necessarily, if no one has other stuff or things, for like the Eyes of Red and Gold. When you guys first heard that, like, what were your thoughts and impressions? If we're gonna take out, you know, the Lost Metal, but we can still use all of our Cosmere knowledge, like, what did you guys first think about when you read that, or as you guys like learned about other stuff? Like, who did you think that was gonna be?
I read this way before I read Stormlight Archive. So for me, it was either like the ravings of a madman, or it was just something I don't know yet. There was quite a lot of theories, if I remember right, of the time that they were Odium's forces because of him being red and gold.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I
know
thought.
I'd heard that a lot too, or like, because you have like a lot of red eyes, like shard bearers potentially, like people inside of like maybe like Parshendi. Because again, like going up, you had like basically before Lost Metal was released, you had through book 4, and so even reading this and then rereading Rhythm of War, it's like,
The
yeah, I
bigger
kept thinking
question
about
is
like
like,
Parshendi in some fashion. I'm like, so yeah, Odium's red and gold though for sure.
bigger question is what's the final metal?
Is that not Trellism?
It's
Trillium?
Trillium. Isn't it Trillium that he's talking about?
Is it? I don't even know anymore. Why would that be the final metal if so? That doesn't even make sense.
Or would that not be, would the final metal not be harmonium?
Well, it's because
Now, wait a second.
he's saying that the men of red and gold will bring the final metal.
But they bear it. I could
Bear
see
the
it sort of
final
like that
metal.
dragon.
Bear the
They
fetal
use
metal.
harmonium to make their bombs.
Right.
I can see that. And that fits more
I don't know.
into
Yeah, it seems like it'll be one of the god metals, Trellium or
I think it makes more sense as harmonium. That makes a lot of sense in
harmonium.
my mind, actually.
I think Trillium makes more sense than Harmonium
But the
because
thing is,
it's
like,
the
Trellium is just like, oh, here's another god metal, and then there's 14, 13 others. Like, that's not final, but harmonium being the god metal of combination and being the bomb, like, that kind of makes sense to me.
Right. Well, and if you also think about it and tie to the name of the book, the Lost Metal, is the Lost Metal Trellium or is it Harmonium?
the Lost
Which
Metal I
one's-
thought was like
Or is it in reference to the fact that you bring back Atium and Lerasium, technically?
Yeah, that was
the Lost Metal
my
is
thought.
definitely Lerasium.
Even though there's a placard that says Atium, the lost metal in Banza Morning.
Yeah.
So it's probably if it's that, then you know, but they don't bear Atium or Lerasium, but they do use
Right, they bear
Harmonium and Trellium. So
right. So let's hypothesize.
Hypothesize?
There we go. Thank you.
Theorize.
it's nice having
So-
a teacher in the group.
The word was in there, it just wasn't coming out. That's what happens when you get old. So we have they bear the Trellium, right? But they're going to bring the last metal. They are servants of ambition.
Mhm.
Autonomy.
What is the ultimate goal
Yeah.
of ambition? Presumably to get all the power, right? So if they're bringing about a being with all of the power, they would be rebuilding the god metal that would be associated with
Autonomy.
or I'm
ambition.
sorry, autonomy, not ambition. But yeah, whatever the god metal associated with Adelnalcium would have been.
Is there a god metal associated with Adenalcium?
We're
Well, if
hypothesizing.
Eums are the metal, is Adelnalcium just Adelnalcium?
But that's
Or is
why
it Adelnalcium
thinking-
yum?
if it were just
What is the tastiest metal?
What's the tastiest metal in the world? Adelnalcium yum.
So silly.
And here I always thought
That's
the
why I'm
lost
sorta like-
metal were the friends we made along the way.
like the One Piece.
Only if you can eat your friends and burn them.
It's like the One Piece.
Technically.
Okay. We've got the Ars Arcanum, which we now have the full elementic and ferrochemical chart until things get changed because Brandon is redefining what like destiny is and other things. I still have a
Yeah.
grievance that Bendeloid does not store energy.
Stores caloric intake. Basically.
Calories
Well,
or
Which is
sustenance.
bodily energy.
It's
Yeah.
a
So
calorie is a unit of thermal energy.
yeah.
Yep.
So you're storing you're storing energy that is used and consumed by the body.
Yeah, I just disagree with the term.
Mm.
You are free to do so.
You're free to do so. But science does say what a calorie is.
So here is a question about Nitrocil and the fact that it can store investiture. So
Oh my
like,
goodness. Here, let me grab
aren't-
my book.
aren't you technically like when you are storing anything with ferrochemy, aren't you technically storing investiture?
Well, you're using investiture to store something, not
You're
storing the
using it.
investiture itself,
That's
right?
fair.
So you're
So
using investiture to store. And so Nicrosil, I love because of the aspect that. Ooh, sorry, I haven't even opened this book. Just cracked the spine.
We had a whole argument before it is pronounced Nicrosil.
we did look it up. Fun fact.
Sounds good. I'm gonna look up
That was
Necrocell.
the biggest I don't care I've ever heard in my life.
And you are free to pronounce it in a different way. People still pronounce like tomato and tomato 2 different ways.
I mean, Reader still says it as Sazed, even though he pronounces the nickname as Says. So like
So Necrocell. When we open up the book to Necrocell, it says it enhances the target's next metal burned from allomancy, stores investiture, and it steals investiture.
Thank you very much, Arkanchov. Good day, comrade.
I think the more important part is the steals investiture.
Stealing investiture
Yeah.
under Hemalurgy, which I feel like
that's
there's
just
just gonna be there should just be a million Necrocell spikes in the future. I'm struggling, but I try to pronounce things correctly.
Wasn't that the plan that and I don't know anything about what Brandon has written about Era 3 yet because I'm going pure blindness on this. But from what I remember, the plan was to have it be a Necrocell ferochemist hacker at one point. And so I think that would have dwelt
I heard at one point it was a Mistborn serial killer.
Oh, it was
That's
going
what
to
I had
start
heard.
with a SWAT team taking down a Mistborn serial killer, which now knowing that Kelsier is still kicking changes that a bit. But the main character was going to be a female Necrocell faring hacker.
Oh, interesting.
This was
I remember. I thought he talked about it being like a noir kind of style.
Oh,
at
that would
some
be
point.
fun.
Like 80s, like
Yeah.
noir kind of.
It was supposed to be like an 80s noir Cold War hacker novel. I don't remember.
Oh, interesting. That would be really interesting though to see a Necrocell fairing though, because I need that to be explored. Like the whole investiture aspect concept, like just thinking about like you're storing investiture again, and if you can store investiture and then you can unkey it and then unassociate it, right? And so now anyone can then start like this is like I know they already have aspects. Is it? Can anyone remember? It's been a minute since I finished reading the other books. Isn't Necrocell part of how they?
Yes.
No, it's only via identity.
It's identity. It's
identity that they use in order to pass around.
I thought so.
The coins
Yeah, so it's they use aluminum, or do they use a Necrocell as well?
Do you have
the coins.
Necrocell?
Yeah. So what the ferochemists were talking about at the beginning of bands was we need a ferochemist that can put all of their identity into one metal mind, and then while they have no identity, put
because they're storing the ability to use investiture. And so that's how someone can gain the ability to use investiture to then gain the ability to then use. Sorry.
Fucking K.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Dang.
That's like a
way too
gremlin that just went ballistic over there. But he takes his wins where he can.
To be fair, he is
and remember
storing
how well I take my losses. I earned.
So yeah.
Always watching. Like Wazowski.
So
yes,
are we gonna have like investiture mules in the space age who are just going through the cognitive realm holding on to investiture to transport
basically from what we've seen, based on what we've seen from the far future of the Cosmere and relating to like Scadrians, the Malwish in particular, we've seen that they can access basically any power that they want using any of the metallic arts using the coins.
Yeah.
Only ferochemy.
No. They can use allomancy.
Okay. and
We
permit
see
me
see
a
them use
brief moment.
Allomancy
We
via
do.
a machine that's a button
We do not
inside
know
of.
that was so we do know somebody was able to do allomantic pushing with a button. We do not know they were Malwish. We do not know how that was done because that was not coin usage, that was by button.
Yes.
And a big thing about the bands themselves, not only for the fact that it was able to do all 32 different ones, but it was also able to store allomantic powers and not just ferrochemical,
Mhm.
which the Malwish have only been able to do
So far as of Era
so
2.
far as of Era
But
2.
they also
Yeah.
did not have access to allomantic power.
That is also
They
true.
only had access to ferrochemical power. So
Not entirely true. They have some people that were Allomancers, but they were very rare,
yeah,
which is why they're so revered. Because that's how they flew their ships, is because they did have coin shots.
Yes,
yes,
because they put them in the primer cubes.
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
we are going way too deep.
Sorry,
into
yeah,
this.
we're way off field.
Okay. We get the
I-
terms and sorry.
You're good. I was gonna state, we mentioned this earlier, in the non-spoiler section that the Ars Arcanum is written by someone. And
Chris.
if you don't know yet, that someone is a scholar, her Chris, Chryselia. And she appears on screen very few times. Her main appearance is in the White Sands books, the White Sands graphic novels, where you see her the most. But we actually do. She does have a cameo. In
Upcoming in 2.5
in
books.
in 2 books. In Bands of Mourning, she has a little cameo, which is
Shoot,
kind
I
of
forgot
fun.
about that one.
We see her and we hear about her in some of the far future books. She's mentioned as a very well-known, renowned scholar. And you see her name sometimes mentioned in relation to Nash in the Stormlight Archives. We know that he is working for her, but she's the one who's writing the Ars Arcanum.
Do you mean Naz? The guy who makes
Naz.
the art?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Naz. Did I say Nash? Naz.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the one whose name is mentioned in the book in the map. He is working with Chris.
For you audio listeners, Reader is holding up a map with the name on the corner.
The map at
That
the beginning
couldn't see what a silent picture,
Yeah.
they couldn't hear what a silent picture was.
Yeah. We do know Naz is not Naz. Chris is the one sort of writing these now. We get the terms N positive, N neutral, and N negative in regards to allomancy, ferochemy, and hemalurgy. You also get a reference to spirit webs, cell, confirmation that god metals will have 16 alloys of each with different abilities, some of which include the 11th metal and atium because of the retcon. There was a line about the only known practitioners of hemalurgy are Khandra, who, quotation mark, for the most part, serve harmony.
For the most part.
Upcoming caveat.
No, there are other caveats. Because we do know that there is at this time of these books, that there is a Khandra on Roshar. Which is before Har sends his Khandra out into the greater
Yep,
cosmos.
and we know that Milan is the first one that he specifically sends. Chooses to send out, which is at the end of.
There's that other guy from Trust of the Emerald Sea who appears at the end of Wind and Truth.
Yeah, and he's with Hoyd.
The doctor.
Yes, and he's
Who
with
speaks to
Hoyd,
his
and he is
sanity on a
also
whole different level.
and he is also off-world, and he is also a Khandra.
Well, currently he's on Scadrial, to the best of our knowledge.
Yeah, at the end of
Is he?
Wind and Truth, he's on Scadrial.
Right.
He's manning the Bacta tank that Hoyd somehow transfers to.
I know he was manning the tank. Does it state that that tank is on Scadrial?
Pretty sure, based upon the description and also the fact that Hoyd immediately just goes to Wayne's place,
But-
Wax's place.
I mean, he also Hoyd just goes to places in general on a
Okay,
regular
but also
basis.
it's a contract.
So,
Fine.
yeah, but that
Really?
doesn't
Well,
necessarily mean
Someone want to pull? I don't have a copy of that to reference. Someone wants to pull
I just
that up.
didn't.
from Wind and Truth.
I just didn't remember it being stated that he was.
I don't know if
on
it's stated, but
Scadrial.
it makes a lot of references of like basically stuff about Scadrial where things he's going to do on Scadrial when he's talking to him. So at least the inference
know.
is that he's on Scadrial, but I don't know if it states it
somewhere far
directly.
from Roshar, a place with soil, budding skyscrapers, and firearms.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't remember that.
If we read this book.
That's a sweet UK edition of Wind and Truth.
See? Look at it.
Oh,
It's nice and shiny and red
badass.
and gray. Okay. Anything
Yeah,
else for
I
the
think
Ars
that
Arcanum?
I mean, the only last thing I have comment on the Ars Arcanum really is just like in the learning of end negative. This is kind of the first time that anyone talks about hemalurgy is not evil. She's like, hemalurgy is not like no investiture can technically be evil, right? It's simply that. And so I found that just like an interesting kind of reference here is like all previous points we kind of just see its applications directly and everyone's like, it's terrible, this evil thing. And so this is kind of like our first point of really being like, oh, this might not be like, this is the first person that's ever referenced this on page as not evil. So
Really
just
hoping at
an
one
interesting
point we'll
call out.
see it not be in a evil sense outside of just Vin having an earring and Wax and Wayne using it like very briefly at the end. I want to see like a positive use to this. Okay. Last thing on the docket, the broadsheet. Life Across the Ocean is teeing up Life Across the Ocean, even though the thing about it not really on it.
Even though it's not actually across the ocean, because
Yeah.
they're connected by land.
So when we come back in the next book, I will have a whole rant about the horseless carriages, and then because I have a thing, and then we have Jack thing. Dragon, are you for or against Alamancer Jack? Like him or not?
I mean, I've listened to the Alamancer Jack, read Alamancer Jack like little like piece that he has that's separate. I mean, I mean, it's kind of like I feel like I'm kind of like so on it. I mean, as far as like actual pieces of writing, like I think it's a fine, it's fine. But his stories are fun and it's like a fanciful telling. But I mean, he's a bit of a douchebag, kind of, in my opinion. Like, I'm like, how do I say this very politically? Now he acts like a total prick. I mean, like he dehumanizes the Koloss blooded who are humans but simply Koloss blooded, right? He like fantasizes, he essentially like talks down on his stewards. He very much almost kind of has the same like aristocratic feeling and air from Final Empire in a sense, like, right, you've got to have your terraceman slave steward who you talk down on. Everyone just loves you, and it's just like this idealized like perspective of life kind of thing. And then it's like, but it's almost like this like nobleman, like adventurer, which is what he is, but like that type of mentality kind of carries over from the Final Empire, right? Like nobility still matters, having noble blood, like et cetera, and he carries that with him. So, I mean, I
He's
guess
like,
take that read as you will.
to make a comic book reference, do you guys know Booster Gold at all? He is this guy from the future that basically travels back into time to gain popularity as a superhero based upon future tech. And his whole thing is that he will never, the universe itself makes it so you will never be seen as a glorious figure. You're always going to be in the shadows. He's the hero, he's the greatest hero you've never heard of. And every single time, like, he has this grand adventure, it's either never noticed or the timeline gets fixed and it never happened, technically. But he's always this arrogant douchebag whose whole thing is, I do all this for the fame. And then there's Batman and Superman who are like, let me shut him up.
Yeah, I mean that sounds a lot like Elementor Jack, right? Like literally just ends up like spinning lies to essentially get his publicity.
Okay. Anything else for Alloy of Law then? Well, that's going to cover it for this episode and season. Thank you so much for joining us in our ramblings and predictions. This has been Cosmere Connections, and we hope you'll tune in next time.
See ya, chump.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. I'm going to be interested to see where everybody ranks this book.
Are we ranking it Cosmere overall, or are we ranking it of just what we've read so far?
What we've read so far.
Okay. I suspect that'll be an outlier again. And for ease of ranking stuff, can you type out in maybe general or BTS which books we've all covered so far?
And what our overall rankings have been so far?
Sure. Yeah, I'm taking a screenshot.
Just to help us.
You're right, in general, is what we have so far.
Very nice, very nice.
Okay, what's the highlightings?
Just color coordinating. Just for me. For fun.
But
Okay.
why is Final Empire a different color than Hero of Ages and Well of Ascension?
Because Swiggity randomly decided to have a silver coin the first time and then a gold coin on the other two, and it just, I don't know.
That's what
I'm not the artist.
Okay.
The
Okay.
coin
So the
changed
answer is to
colors.
correlate it with the emblem that we used for that season. Got it.
Yes, got it. Thank you.
That was the bit that we were missing.
That makes sense.
Schmodcast notes.
I don't know why. Look at the artist.
It's because it's because I made the logo and then we started doing the podcast and actually reading the books again, and I realized boxings were gold colored.
And so Reader could have coordinated and changed the color for the highlight to gold, but he chose not to.
Because it's that color.
To match
I
the
was gonna
other
have-
books in the series.
So in my mind, they were going to alternate. So the first one was going to be the outlier, and the other ones were going to be a certain color. On this one, I've got Alloy of Law as gold, and the rest of them are silver highlighted. This is how my brain Or can't control it.
It's the logos.
You want to know what the other ones are? Here, I will
Wait, where's the?
I will show all of the other ones I've planned.
You do not have to, reader. I just
Oh
was.
no, there they are.
Here they are.
Stormlights
I
are on.
Well-
can't help it.
Well, boy, howdy. Oh man, Yumi is so far away.
Yeah.
This is just listing books.
Also-
Yumi's the timetable is different.
Also, we're gonna
There's
have
a
to shoot
different table.
6 the dusk.
Yeah, I haven't updated this since
6 the dusk. Right.
Ember
We might
Dark
as well
came out.
skip that.
Well, yeah,
Right, yeah,
we'll-
because it's in Emberdark.
yeah.
So this is good. Oh boy.
I really hope
I haven't
The
touched
White
these
Sands omnibus
this
comes
ranking
out.
file since Emperor's Soul.
Sorry, what did you say, Swiggity, about White Sands?
whenever the omnibus drops, that'll be great. I really hope that comes out.
Oh, it's already out.
Oh, really?
The omnibus is out.
Yeah, it's been out
Is
for
that
like a couple years now. Swiggity.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon.
no?
I haven't yet.
Let's see this.
I'm waiting for the novelized version. I'm not pay because I've already bought all 3 comic books. I do not need one giant book of all of them.
You've got all 3 of them.
Yeah,
That's even better.
I will not need 5 books of the same story. I say with my leather bounds, my European editions, my 10-year anniversary editions.
Yeah, he
So-
lies.
So
He
it's
lies to
already
himself.
out, Swiggity. It's been out for I think at least 3 years now.
3 years. Wow.
Are you thinking about the novelization version, Swiggity?
No. I never knew
Okay.
this came out. That's crazy. I never see it.
Yeah, they added things. They added like a prologue with Chris and other
They did
things.
add some things.
And they fixed the jukebox.
You mean the
radio.
boombox?
The boombox.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fixed some
That
of the
cursed boombox.
artwork things, and they made the artwork like more consistent as well. Because yeah, it was.
Oh, so they changed it.
No giant
a bit.
page of "Hi, I'm Trell."
That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They changed something.
Huh.
But overall, made it better.